word. Temple. I did this word real quick because they have a temple to Diana on her island that she has out there. So the center of this is a 13 and a 16. It also equals military police, obviously, and the digital root goes to an 11. The front part of this is 25. Now, I used to just kind of think dead end whenever I came to 25, and it is a 7, but pi is also a 25. So this is my new favorite decode of 25. These are the letters of it. Now the 169th day is the F and the R, the 618. So all of this is encoded in here in the 25 and the TE. It's interesting that the Globus Cruciger, you know, they have the cross up above it, but they also have the band across, but sometimes they have the band with a band going this way. And that would be the pi plus the T. Of course, this could be the T too, but I've noticed this band right here. All right. So over here you have the 12 and the 5, which is the 17. Digital root is an 8, but this is one of the L's. I mean, I talked to you about Noel. Actually, there's really tons of L's, because if you think of these guys as Anunnaki, there's a lot of them. And Saturn is the father time, Chronos. I haven't studied all the relationships of Chronos. I've studied more Anunnaki, so I have more to learn about this. But I know that from studying, from just listening to people decoding things on the internet, and that Saturn numbers and symbolism are everywhere, and the speed of Saturn, the 696, is the speed of Saturn. And you know, I don't know if I believe that it's the actual speed of Saturn, but they want you to associate those numbers, which is and please forgive me, I don't know, I can't remember if it's which inversion it is. I have a feeling it's this inversion, because this is the G O, the first two letters of God. Oh, which is a 715. Actually, this is the backwards of free. This is 76, the spirit of 76, but this is 18:6, which is RF. And there we have seen that this is the opposite of free. There's they named the chips this to tell you that that's the opposite of free. And then my latest speculation is that they are pointing to this state. Okay, so anyway, there's more than one L, and that's it's just boggling to try to talk about this. But what I want to point out is we have a 7-11 relationship here, and we have the word temp, which is also a root of temporary. I'm not going to work on that word right now, but the 7-11 convenience stores are secrets in plain sight, having to do with Psalm 23. And I think I've talked about this in a few videos. If this is your first video, welcome, you guys. Try to stick with me, and hopefully the clues will stick together, and you'll start to understand more of what I'm talking about. Anyway, Psalm 23, I did a decode of the word Psalm, and it does have a lot of the other numbers that we normally see corresponding to 23. But it has, if you look at the 7-11 signs that are out on the street, they have a green valley, and the EL that's in the middle of the 11 is the place where the red you know, I want to call it a comet. I don't want to, you know, contribute to the fear. I don't know what's going to happen. I think their comet is going to be pretend. You know, that's really just my gut feeling, that it's going to be a pretend comet. Anyway, the comet is coming through the L. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Anyway, so this is the 7-11. There's also the other aspect. These are different colors. Like this is red, this is orange, I think. E-L-E. Oh, it's probably an L-E. Anyway, it goes right over the L-E, and then that would be the V. So this is the Valley of Death right here. And this is the Psalm 23. The Psalm 23, I don't know the history of it. It came through the Vatican. I'm starting to think the whole Bible could be predictive programming. It could be a complete scare vehicle. You know, what I've noticed is the Illuminati are working very diligently to make the scripture come true. If you think about why they're working to make the scripture come true, it makes sense that they wrote the scripture. Like, think about it. You know, they're pretending to be gods. They write the scripture, and then the scripture comes true. And it just lends more prophetic power to the Bible. And we see people flipping out on the internet about the prophetic power of the Bible. But if we pull the curtain back, we can see from the coding of these events, we can see that these things are planned in advance. And it looks like they put a lot of elbow grease into this. It's not just, you know, destiny. So we need to cognate that and realize that the Bible could have been installed as a prophetic document for a reason, so that then they can make these things come true, adds more power to the Bible. Also, predictive programming, the way the predictive programming works is it scares you with a constant drumbeat. You know, and they've been doing this for 20 years now, the end times. A constant drumbeat of scaring to the point that the human consciousness will relax and accept the doom. And when they accept the doom, an energetic thing happens to where it frees these guys up to make the doom happen. This goes back to my video about Amen and resisting neurolinguistic programming. You know, you really probably need to take the whole Bible. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt you to take the whole Bible and all of the revelations and all of the predictive doom programming and just cancel clear it. You can still investigate it. You can still wonder what's going on, but you won't be participating energetically in the collapse of this quantum wave. Probably sounds like gibberish, but if you understood that, leave me a comment. Okay, love you guys. Temple is also your head. There's a lot of aspects of this word. All right, hope you guys like that. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I did the word sacrifice on another page, and it's so filled with scribbling I can't even bring it to you, so I'm gonna have to write it here. The RI, this is INRI. Oh my gosh, it's impossible for me to stay on topic. INRI is what they wrote above the Christ, supposedly. None of us were there. We don't know what really happened. 914 is a 23, and then we have your 18 and your 9, and this is a 27, so this is a 923. This is a 911 equivalent. So just something to know. Okay, so when you see the re in the center of your word, even if it's not in the complete center, you just take it as the center, because that you learn to see these roots. You learn to see what the center is supposed to be. So this is a 9, right? Because I showed you how it comes together here. You would add it together, and then you take the digital root. So here we go. This is a 6 and a 9. And then we have a 3 and a 5. Now this is also a little code in itself, which is to see the E, which is to see the 5, see the star. So a sacrifice has something to do, it's like sending a message from the 6 to the 9. They're using the dead person to send a message from the 6 to the 9, so that because they will be able to see the Star of Ra. And then also part of the sacrifice is to allow the sacrificer to see, to gain the ability to see. Okay. The sea also doubles as seeing. It also doubles as the holy sea, or the ocean, the heavens, the waters of the heavens. That's the sea. There we go, right there. Actually, I think it goes the other way. Yeah, no, that's right. That's the upper chalice. And then you would have the stem of Orion, and then the lower chalice. This is shown in Astana. And this is where the Star of Ra is. It's the portal. It's the portal out. If this is your first video, you're gonna just think, oh my gosh, she's lost her noodles. The decoding is so immense, you really have to watch a few videos. I'd start with the chalice playlist. It's gonna sound less crazy than this. Okay, so here we have 15 and then 20. Guess what this is? Yeah, I should have known that because I just did it on the last page. I just wanted to show you though. 23, 9, and then this is our word for sacred, sacrilege. These are all super important. Each of these is an important root. So 19 and 1 is 20, and 3 is a 3, right? So if you think of this as a toroidal field, which is what this dome really is. I didn't draw it super great, but it is actually a fruit toroidal field sort of eye shape. If you go to go to my video about the two eyes and the owl in Washington D.C., and you see in the belly of the owl tons of symbolism there. There's an eye with 33-degree vision, and you will see how they really show you the toroidal shape of that. So you know I'm not making it up. Okay, so what I want to keep impressing on you is I believe these are toroidal spinning fields, and this is part of the magic that they feel. This is dark magic. I'm pretty sure it's dark. I don't think the good guys did this. Pythagoras didn't invent English. I forgot the name of the guy who did, but Pythagoras invented the gematria. English is made to perfect the gematria in terms of magic. So you know how like Buddhists have their prayer flags out in the wind, and it flaps that prayer. It adds kinetic energy and intention to flap that prayer. Well, when they make these words, they are flapping a thought form. I don't know what happened to my focus. Come on, focus. Let's do this. They are flapping a thought form. So this is intended to be in motion. It's circulating around the core. The core here is the sacred 9. In vector mathematics, you see that the 9 is the all and the nothing. And so they're taking these concepts and I do think that we do live in a universe of numbers, but I think they have kind of like harnessed the numbers for dark magic. And that's why I do these decodes, to try to understand what is happening. When you say this word, what could be happening is you could be adding wind to their prayer flag. Like when they had the children say the words of 9/11. And this, by the way, is 9/11. this is 9/11 in the Gregorian calendar. I'm just going to write a Greg. And then in the Julian calendar, that's what it is. And then this is its Gregorian equivalent. So both of these days are just equivalent. This is the Roman calendar. Washington, D.C. is Roman city-state. So this is a spinning toroidal field. And I believe that you're adding your wind to it when you speak it. It's one of my first theories when I first studied our English language, and I realized that we are saying words to our loved ones. We are saying things that are curses in the direction of our loved ones, and we don't realize it. Like the word hello. Really, see, I said that. And good luck. But if you know these words, what can happen is you can kind of lay a cancel clear over it, and then it won't be harmful should you find yourself saying it or hearing it. But we basically need to speak a different language. This language is wrecked. I think we should go to probably a Native American language. And this goes to my theory about black people being stronger and more independent-minded than white people. Sometimes my handwriting is really good, and sometimes it's just bad. Black people refuse to speak correct English, and then they get ridiculed for that. It's almost like their heart knows that our English is a corrupted black magic language. I grew up in a neighborhood of all black people. Me and my brother and this other little white family were the only white. We moved into a newly unsegregated neighborhood, and I grew up being loved and accepted by a beautiful, large community of beautiful black people. And all my best friends were black, and I spoke jive as a child. And I believe that speaking jive frees them. And their refusal to participate in white dark magic keeps them freer than we are. I know that they're not completely free. They've been infiltrated. It's kind of sad because they're such a beautiful people. Their music has been infiltrated by the white music industry. It's sad. But I just interject this because I have noticed black people are more independent-minded. I think they're suffering, generational suffering, and their cellular memory has given them more of an independence and a refusal just from lack of comfort to go along with the program. But I think it's also their language. If you speak jive, so much of this magic, this dark magic, goes away in what you have spoken. And I do believe that I spoke jive for 5 years, and I think that it helped me. So this goes along with, we should all, speak. I think jive should be taken, actually to, 3 more levels of departure from the English language. I'm really sorry, my hand is shaking. 3 more levels of departure from English. Or we can just switch to like Cherokee or some other Navajo or some language that is completely free of the dark magic in here. So this is why I do this. I do this to understand, and to understand the words that we are saying. And just the more I do this, the more insights I get onto what is going on with this. So now when you see the sack, you know what it means. When you see the feist, you know what it means. When you see the IR or the RI, you know what it means. Also in means this. This is the downward facing pentacle. See, I drew an upward facing pentacle having to do with this 5 right here. But when the 2 is above, reading left to right, that is a downward facing pentacle. That is a de-evolving man or woman. So the picture becomes very complete right here. All right, love you guys. Stay safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.